Hello, 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 everybody. Everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Let me get my microphone. You know what I forgot? To refill my cup after my old live stream. Okay. Let me go refill my cup and put this back on here. Alright. I'll be right back. I know. Sometimes I forget. Oh, here we go. So, today's topic is it's good to vent out. Let it out. Let it all out. Like a fart, almost about. That sounds funny, yes, I know. But venting out is almost like a fart. You just let it out. Some people are scared to let it out, so they don't. Some people are like, let me fart in the restroom because that's where it's supposed to be. You know? So you ask yourself, again, that's another thing right there. You gotta vent, guys. You have to vent. You have so many emotions. You go through so many emotions, guys. Venting out helps 1,000%. A lot of people try to keep it balled up inside them, like, but then at the end of the day, they gotta have someone to vent out to. They might not want to tell their wife, kids, husband, wife, kids, they, them, she, he, them, it, every verb in the universe. They might not want to tell them. They might not want to tell their dad, mom, grandma, uncle, cousin, sister, brother. And you're like, why? A lot of people don't vent out. And when some people do, it's to the people that matter. People that matter in your life is who you vent out to. Sometimes life is a struggle where you're trying to vent out to someone and they don't want to hear you. And that was last live stream. If you weren't here for the last live stream, you can go watch that video. Again, thoughts and opinions will occur in each and every video that you say, that I say, to go watch it. But if you want, you can. If you don't, choose. That's actually another subject, but your life, your choices, guys. Your life, your choices. If you don't let it out, you won't have the same emotions. People think that we're all soldiers around here, that nobody cares about your feelings. If nobody cared about people's feelings, we wouldn't have this society right now. We would have a heartless society. Just like me. Sometimes I don't care about people's feelings. I'll just try to hurt them as much as possible because that's just me. And sometimes I tell the right things to the right person at the right time. Again, that's just me. I have met so many people in my lifetime that ball up inside. They don't want to say nothing. And they say, well, I leave my work at work and my home at home. But sometimes, sometimes you do have to vent out to some people to tell them how you feel about a situation or what your past is. Because your past will bring you who you are. If you never had your past, it would never bring to who you are. And that's another subject, guys. Just because the past is the past doesn't mean you have to forget about it. Sometimes you got to go from the past back to the future to get to the past to get to the future. Does that even make sense to y'all? Because in my brain, it does. Your past made you who you are today, guys. If it wasn't for your past, you wouldn't be that person you are today. If it wasn't for that mistake that you did, if it wasn't for that relationship that you went through, if it wasn't for a heartbreak, if it wasn't for your grandma, your uncle, anybody around you back then, maybe you were living with your aunt back then or something, and some things happened, made you a stronger person. Your past is your past. However, you need to keep and gain confidence that you can look back at your past sometimes and thank yourself for having that situation. It's what made you. You can vent it out. Venting out your past is something that a lot of people don't know how to do. In order to continue with the future, a lot of people, I should keep this for another one, but in order to continue, you gotta let your emotions out. You gotta let something out to another person. If a person wants to know your history, they want to know your history. You may not like that at that point because you're like, this person, it's just a worker. I'm that person too. I'm not going to tell you my history. I'm not going to tell you my past until you actually break it, the seal. I'll let you know. I told another person today that I'm a self-independent person. I have no one. And they're like, what do you mean you have no one? I said, I have no one. I don't have kids. I don't have a husband, wife. I don't have they. And I said, I just have my grandma. That's it. The person kind of felt sorrow and like, well, oh man. Now I see why you're like this. Because you're a strong person. And you're fighting this world for yourself. Exactly my point. And that's why I said it's exactly my point. Will I give out the situation? Because a lot of people are like, I don't know you. Well, you haven't asked, have you? Did I tell you anything about myself? No. Back then, when people had interviews, they would say, a group interview, tell me a little bit about yourself. Or when you in school and they have that, you see, this is why I get it now, but I don't get it in this future where nobody wants to understand each other, nobody wants to vent out. Back then in school, they taught you as soon as you come in the class, hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. This is Molly. Molly, go ahead. You have the floor. Where did you come from? What do you like? And then they'll tell you. They go from there. At a work environment, hold on. Do you get that same, would you get that same aspect in a work environment when they just put you out there on a spot like, oh, you're here to work and that's it. You don't have to know everybody else. Is that right? Or is that a wrong thing to do? Because in my opinion, that's the wrong thing to do. I would like to get to know my crew. And that's how I was taught, was to know your crew, know who you're around. Just because you got to focus on work and like, oh, I don't need you to think about them. I need you to think about what your work is. It's not all about work. You got to vent out and show them and tell them. You want to talk to them. You want to talk to people. Venting out helps so much in this industry, but a lot of people don't. Venting out is why I'm on YouTube right now. Why I'm on YouTube for? Because right now, I would be doing the same thing right now, talking to no one, not even talking to the internet, talking to no one. I just talk to myself. And again, I would have a full conversation with myself.
grandma.
I mean, oh, even my grandma's calling. Look at that. But I would have a full conversation with myself. And it's not a big deal for me. Because I've been doing it. People are like, how do you survive on your own? Are you always mute when you're home? No, I talk to my own self. I ain't got nobody else to talk to. So I vent to myself, I vent out loud. Now I'm venting out, like for the timed break, again, I'm going on to the end of this season for Mofo BM World. Well, from that time break, oh, you better believe that I'm going to be talking to myself. You better believe that. I'm going to be straight up having a full-blown conversation without the internet. And just talk to myself. Here, by myself. And I'm not going to bawl it out. I'm going to let it out. I can even probably talk to Paku. Maybe Paku would understand. Talk to my chinchilla. Gogre. I never said to anyone, don't let it out. Never. I always tell everybody, let it out. Let it all out. You are full of emotions, guys. Your body goes through stages in life where you're going through a puberty stage or becoming a different person around a different age. Like, you're going through a lot of stages. And today, I had to sit down and shut up. Basically, like in Forrest Gump, sit down, shut up. And I'm actually going to take that in consideration and bring it with me tomorrow. Because that's exactly how it's like. I can't say my emotions. And, today was an interesting day. It was another learning day for me. And I kind of vented out and told people how I felt. And does that matter to the other person? Yes and no. They don't want to consume it because they don't want to have feelings. Oh, people hate that. Oh, people hate that. You're like, okay, well, you don't have feelings for me? No. And then in reality, they're like, well, yeah, I sure do, but I'm just trying to remain strong. I'm trying to be dominant around here. That's just how human nature is. People think I'm 7 steps down, but I'm actually 25 steps up. It's all a learning process. That's all it has to do with life right now. Whenever you come to a new area of anywhere, does your feelings matter? No. Should they matter in the beginning? Should they? I don't know. Will you want to make the person comfortable? The way people treat you the first time they meet you, that means if you're wasting their time, they say, then you're wasting their time. But what I heard today, out of my 38 years of working, never have I done this before. So that makes a big impact on me. And I'm like, yeah, let it out. Because I'm the strongest, hardest person you will ever see. Ever see. Let it out. Tell me how you feel. Because if I tell you how I feel, you just ignore it. Because you don't care. And assumptions. The list goes on and on, guys. Let it out. Let your feelings out. Let your humor out. You got humor too. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.